Here we go.
Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. Well, we got another dating expert, and she's warning women that if you don't get your act together, ladies, you're going to spend the rest of your lives alone, probably like she is. You know, as women become more and more picky, more and more selective, as they do better and better than men, at least in the college department and in many ways in their title, but not necessarily in money, they're overlooking a lot of good men. And this woman is warning them, hey, ladies, if you don't clean your act up, you're going to spend time alone. You need to look outside the box. Now, what does outside the box mean? It means you need to stop being so hypergamous and looking at men that are better than you are. Now, as far as money and title and everything, like women need it all. The fact of the matter is, I was listening to a podcast last night, and it was from a guy that does recruitment filling for positions for companies, and he was saying there are plumbers out there, young men, that are going for apprenticeship, and after 4 or 5 years of being an apprentice, they're making $175,000, at least here in the United States, as a plumber. But the problem is when they go to date, oh, well, you're a plumber. I'm not even going to talk to this guy. So we got here from Daily Mail, the chilling warning every single woman needs to hear. Don't wait until it's too late. A leading expert, now they say sex expert, but she's also dating expert, apparently. And plus, YouTube doesn't like me putting that on the thumbnail. A leading expert has revealed the reasons high-achieving straight women struggle to find love and issued a chilling warning to career-focused women. Tracy Cox said there are more successful high-achieving women than ever before, and they need to be less rigid in their choices if they put off finding a partner until their 30s. The relationship coach added that by the time many career-focused women reach a time when they are ready to settle down, most of the good men are taken. Now, here's the problem with this. You know, women claim that feminism is out there to make everything equal, but it's not. They want to be better than men. They want to put down men. They want to shame men. They want to say that all the world's problems are because of men. And excuse me, let me clear my throat here for a second. They say all the world's problems are because of men. And then when they finally realize, oh, I've got all the money in the high positions, and I've got a position maybe I wasn't quite qualified for, but I'm a woman, and they have certain mandatory number of allotments for me to get this job. As the women get these jobs, there are less men that can fill them. And so men get the lesser roles. And if women will only date up, and 60% of them are finishing college, and only 40% of men are finishing college, which is a good thing, by the way. More and more men are skipping college. They're going into the trades, and they're doing very well for themselves. I've said electricians and plumbers and, civil engineering, although that does require a degree. There are a lot of guys doing really well for themselves. They just don't have a traditional degree. And to be honest with you, I went back and took some college classes when I was, in my very late 30s. They didn't teach me anything I didn't already know or couldn't look up on a book or learn from some Indian guy on YouTube. And it was going to cost, and this is a 2-year college, local community college. It was going to cost me $5,000 or $8,000 per year to get this degree. So even after 2 years, it would have cost me almost $20,000, and I wouldn't have been ahead any further than I was before. And I hate to say this, but on most of the time on all my applications for jobs and things, I put down that I had a 2-year degree. And I put the college where I took those classes. They don't research that stuff. I'm not saying you should do that, but I got working for, Cisco, a networking company, all because I was able to do that. So, and that was making $120,000 a year in a technical field. Now, there were times that I would speak to somebody, like in the dating, and they ask if I went where I went to college, and I tell them local, and it didn't work out so well. But the point being, you don't need college anymore to make good money. You don't need it because they're wasting all their time teaching you nonsense. The relationship. Let me finish next there. The more and more single women, there are more and more single women now because more and more women are high achieving, so they're not looking for a husband straight away. When you come out of uni, you've got this numbers game. Loads of women single, loads of men single, and you all sort of hook up. She told the diary of a CEO podcast. Now you can see she's Look, I know sometimes I say this and you guys are like, dude, you're crazy. She was probably a good-looking woman when she was not in her 60s or whatever she is now. You know, she's got relatively good facial symmetry, nice eyes. I'm sure she was, you know, decent looking. So she probably knows better than anybody. If your motivation is to get married and have kids, that's your only motivation. Oh, they have some video. Let's listen to what she has to say about this.
This is why there are more and more single women now, because more and more women are high achieving. So they're not like looking for a husband straight away. When you come out of uni, or even before you go into uni, because lots of people meet at uni and stay together, you've got this big numbers game. You've got loads of women single, loads of men single, and you sort of all hook up. And if your motivation is to get married and have kids, and that's your only motivation, you're going to find a partner early and that's it. You job done, keep going, right? Assuming it all goes well. But if your motivation isn't necessarily that, if you want to go on to university, get your career sorted, and then turn around and have kids, like at 30, okay, right now, achieved, I'm at the past, you know, where I want to have kids and I can take a bit of a break here. And then suddenly, where is he? Well, he's not there because he's already been taken up by everybody else. And men traditionally don't like dating high-achieving women unless they're high-achieving themselves. And the amount of high-achieving women is getting higher and the amount of high-achieving men is getting lower. So you've got even less of a pool to choose from. So the answer for the women is to think outside the square and think, right, okay, do I really need the guy who's got the degree? So then you have to change your wish list a little bit and think, okay, I'm not going to be as rigid with my, you know, must-haves, and perhaps, you know, think about things like, well, does it really matter how much he earns if I'm already earning lots of money? Isn't kindness, generosity, sense of humor, attractiveness, just general chemistry, isn't that enough? So if you go for those qualities, you end up a lot better.
Here's the problem with this, though. And this is what the dating coaches don't tell you with this kind of mindset. Men do want to feel needed. They want to feel wanted. They want to be the man of the house. They want to be the backbone of the family. And when you start dating a woman like this, usually the high earners, even if she will look outside that high earning box and come back around to, you know, the other men, two alphas are always going to fight. You know, it's just in nature, whether you look at a pride of lions, whether you look at a family of gorillas, whatever, you never have more than one alpha in the group, because it becomes a power struggle. And that's literally what happens in nature until one of them is chased off or is ended by the other one. Well, the same thing happens in the dating market. You know, when you get with a woman, you're either going to have to shut up and be, you know, on the sidelines and let her run the show, or you run the show. And most men, at least men of character, don't want to be the ones on the sideline. They want to be the ones running the show. And so when you get a woman like this, they're going to be the ones running a show. Most men don't want that. Most men don't want to play second fiddle. We also know that unless we're like Chad Chaddington, she's eventually going to find, because she's working amongst men that are higher value and higher earning, she's going to eventually find one of them and will either, you know, marry him or start dating him or sleep with him and have a fling at work or something like that. There's a very high risk to this. Not only this, but she says, settle down. Well, the problem is men are seeing that young women, even if they stay chaste and pure until the day they get married, what happens is in their mid-30s or somewhere around there, they're now entering the midlife crisis thing, and they're going out hooking up with dudes at the gym or feeling that they need, I don't know, to find some space, which is the nickname for a 6'2" black dude with lots of muscles, and it doesn't end well. And the guys that they want to settle down with, because all these women have such high expectations, the men they want to settle down with have their choices of women. And she's saying, we'll settle down a little bit. The problem is men do not want to go with a woman that is going to be the dominant one. And the men that do have like all the choices and all the opportunities, they're not ever going to settle down. Because, as a matter of fact, there was just a video I commented on. Let me see if I can find it here. Here it is. Yeah, here it is right here.
Very difficult.
I'm sorry for the noise here. Let me copy pasta this into my browser. I just commented on this on Twitter like 5 minutes before doing this video. And this is a perfect example. Let me download this.
My partner.
Okay. Sorry, it's got cringe music and it's loud, but I don't know if this music is copyright or not, but here you've got, this is her cry face. This is not a pretty face. This is her cry face, right? But what she says is, she says, my partner, and I think this has music. Let me listen.
The very difficult decision to end.
I don't know if it's generic music or not. I'm going to play the music, but I'm going to tell you what the video is about. So if for some reason YouTube like hits me for copyright or all that, I can just clip it out. But I'll tell you what it's about. You can see she's in relatively good shape, right? She says, we decided to end our 12-year relationship and the only life we've ever known. And she's a woman in her 30s, so she married this guy young, and they went out there, and you can see her crying, and she's all upset. And this is her with some makeup on, so she definitely looks better with the makeup. And this is her out with her man and the home they built together, which is very, very posh, very nice. And the whole video is she needs to find her space, and she needs to grow, and she wants to get into athletics, so she's probably sleeping with a gym bro. And she wants to chase after finance, and she wants to party, and she wants to go do this, and she wants to do that. She sees all the younger pretty girls out there going out having fun, having a good old time, and she wants to live that life too. I'm not even going to play the video. You guys get it. And she says, at the end of this, she says, I chose me, and I hope that in this place you choose you. Well, of course. Because it's always about me. It's not about couples. It's not about how are we going to work out this together. It doesn't matter if you get married at young or old or, you're her first or anything else. Eventually, women that are making good money and that have the finances and that are in decent shape and getting some attention from other men, they start saying, what else is out there? When you go back to my mom, when my mother met my father, I think it was sometime in the 60s. Yeah, I think it was 60s. Back then, now my mom worked, but she worked as a secretary at a business, and my father was an engineer that worked there, and he came through the same door every day and said hi to her, and one day he just decided to, ask her out, and they went out. And once they decided to have a family, and she quit her job and it was a stay-at-home mom. She didn't have an aspiration for a career. She did it. She worked because she had to until she met my dad, and then they got married and settled down. Women today, men are an option. And so if we're going to be optional, it's like, I feel like a little bit of ice cream. There's crappy ice cream over there. I'm not going to bother. Oh, this is, I don't know, Haagen-Dazs or some really great ice cream over here. That's what I want. Yes, I will go ahead and have some ice cream. That's kind of how women see dating now. It's kind of like, I want a dude. Yes, I could settle for this guy. I could settle for him, but I don't want to settle for him. I'm going to wait for Mr. Perfect. And then when Mr. Perfect comes around, they sleep with him, they have a good time, and they get left on the curb. And that's what she's saying, is like, ladies, you need to adjust yourselves because this is not going to end up well for you. Let me see if she has anything to add to this. They say, Tracy's passionate speech appeared to divide her followers. Many believe women shouldn't be striving for more. The high-achieving women are protecting their peace and not trying to sign up to take care of somebody. So you notice that even if the woman's making more money and has a degree, even if the guy makes a lot of money, but maybe he doesn't have a degree or anything, they view it as having to take care of the man. So a plumber making 150, now I know that's not normal, but right now, plumbers and welders and electricians and I know they're hard to find. I'm trying to build a home, and I've been trying to build a home now for, a year, I think, since I bought my land. I'll tell you what I've got done on my land for as far as my home goes. I've got the footings dug. There's some rebar in place. That's it. 1 year. And I have a driveway installed. That's what's happened in 1 year. And when I keep asking them, why are we not moving on this stuff? They say, we're looking for concrete contractors. We can't find any right now. Oh, and my well's dug. That's the other thing that's done. My well's dug. We can't find anybody we're looking for a concrete company. Right now, concrete company, not available. They're like 30 to 60 days out just to get concrete poured. And then you start looking for electricians, unavailable. Plumbers, unavailable. Why? Because everybody's thinking they got to go to college. And so in the meantime, while I'm trying to get my home built, I'm going to be writing a check to some of these general contractors for probably $100 an hour to each dude that's on the site doing this work, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. But I also, in the same token, I'm not really pissed about it because, hey, these guys are earning good money. They're getting their bank. They're working hard. They're getting their scratch. I think it's smart. It's the college kids that are getting 200 grand in debt and not getting anything out of it and then end up working at Starbucks because they have no real world skills. And so if you're in any way beneath these women, that's their mindset. Oh, I don't want a man to take care of. No one says you got to take care of him. He can still be a high-earning, strong, intelligent, capable man. Just because he doesn't have a degree in underwater basket weaving doesn't mean that he's not. Matter of fact, he's the guy that if STF, STHF, if the crap hits the fan, he's going to be the best guy to have around, not Glenn, who has an accounting degree. No offense to anybody named Glenn with an accounting degree. Yeah, but you get my point. The high-achieving women are protecting their peace. Okay, I read that. The point is they'd prefer to be single and enjoy life than be less rigid with their standards. We actually don't need to ask women to change something about what they're doing. It isn't their responsibility, one woman wrote. Right, and that's why you're single. That's why you become angry feminists by the time you get to be 40 and eventually get overweight and then are a single wine mom who has 4 cats. Being a high-achieving woman doesn't have to come with a price tag. No woman should need to lower her standards for the sake of getting married and having children at a certain age, agreed another. Right, and men who are the top 10 percenters, they shouldn't have to lower their standards to marry you when you're ready. They will continue to date and have their fun and have their good time. Others blame men for not being good enough for strong women. It's not strong women. See, that's what they misunderstand. Strong woman equals bitch. And men know this. Again, 2 alphas butting heads. And men are like, this is not what I want. It's not because we're broke. It's not because we're looking for husbands. It's because the country and most of the people in it are broken. Men, for some reason, don't put in the work they need to heal themselves. Women often will. Oh, you're right. It's the men that are all screwed up. No, what she's doing is she's, again, getting folded up like origami and getting her back blown out by a top 10 percenter. And then she's like, oh, he won't settle down and be with me. He wants to go sleep with other women. He's broken. Never mind the other 90% of men that are invisible to them. Let's stop calling women high-achieving and calling it what it is. Too many men are doing the bare minimum. Let's stop putting it on women, one woman slammed. Okay, well, when women get a bunch of scholarships and men don't get those same scholarships, so men can't afford to go to college, and when men are put down, and if you go to any of these schools, they're almost indoctrination studios anymore, where men are told, oh, you're white, you're a problem. You're cis, you're straight, you're a problem. You're male, you're a problem. Why is any guy going to go through that? Why would he even bother showing up? If you're not, slightly left of Mao, then they don't want you there. And men are just like, I'm not having it. Why would men bother to do that? Men who don't have insecurity complexes, there are plenty, are not intimidated by anyone, especially women. Okay, good luck to you. And this is men weighed in on the debate as well. We are just not attracted to women who value superficial corporate status over love, loyalty, family, and romance. Very well said. I'm sure someone will come along and still try to force me into the insecurity box, but worry not going to work. Okay. We want women who will respect and cherish us in the beginning, and not those who just wait at the finish line and try to jump into the arms of the winners, one man said. Oh my gosh, this guy either watches Rich Cooper or myself, or he's heard of the men's spaces. That's literally one of the lines that we say, that women don't want to do the hard work. They want to wait at the finish line and bang the winner. He's literally got it right. Another man said he would be thrilled to be with a work-focused woman. Honestly, if someone wants to make me a house husband, I can cook, clean, and tend to the garden. I'll be stoked. Yeah, because it's easy work. But no woman's going to want that. And here's the thing. You look at this woman right here. Look at her stance. Her legs are apart, which is very masculine. Her arms are folded and crossed. No one. This is not a woman you look at and you're like, oh man, I bet it's really fun to take her out on a day, having fun and going out to dinner and then coming home and cuddling and then banging the crap out of her. You look at her and you're like, this is going to be a struggle. We in for a fight. That's what that is right there. So I'm telling you right now, fellas, these women don't get it. They don't get it. They never will. Just enjoy your solidarity. Be proud of being a plumber or being an electrician or being a welder or being somebody that works with your hands. Be proud of that. Be proud that you're not starting your life out at $100 or $50 or $200,000 in debt. Be proud that there's so many people going to college right now and not getting an education. I mean, if you see some of these college classes, I saw a clip of one where this woman's talking about politics and something about gender. And one kid literally looks at the other one and he goes, "Isn't this a math class?" And the kid's like, "Yeah, I know." Like, you're not missing out on anything. Just skip it. Move on with your lives. Guys, got the studio going up in the on my land. Hopefully I'll have that up and running where my next videos will come from out there. The sound might not be perfect, but I'm getting it squared away, and I'm excited to be out on the land almost full time very soon here. So I'll crank out a bunch of videos today. I got 2 or 3 more coming out for you. So we'll see you in the next one.